version of events as it relates to what happened with Tupac Shakur.
Mr. Davis stated that his nephew, Mr. Orlando Anderson, was jumped and beat up in a club or in a hotel in Las Vegas after the Tyson fight. He came and told Mr. Davis what happened. They went looking for Tupac, Suge, anybody who was involved, basically, in the beatdown of Mr. Anderson. And they couldn't find him at first, and then they saw him, and basically, Mr. Davis had the gun at first, but they came up on the passenger side of Suge Knight and Mr. Shakur's vehicle, so he couldn't shoot across the driver.
Damn, this nigga telling everything. Goodness gracious.
So he handed the gun to Dre in the back seat, Andre Smith. He was afraid to shoot. Mr. Anderson grabbed the gun and shot across Mr. Smith into Mr. Knight's car that Mr. Tupac Shakur was in with Mr. Knight.
And did he tell you what kind of vehicle he was in?
He was in a white Cadillac.
Did he tell you what kind of gun was used?
A .40 cal Glock.
After receiving this information in March of 2009, does the task force sign Mr. Davis up as a confidential informant?
Yes.
And once you sign him up as a confidential informant, what?
Damn. Exposure. Exposure, Keefe, man. So we know for a fact the police are telling you Keefe D was an informant. Damn, bro.
What is it that you want to do with Mr. Davis?
Figure out ways to see if he's telling the truth about his story, about what happened.
And so what do you do?
Mr. Davis had a narcotics friend in New York by the name of Equan Williams, Zip. He said he could, this is a lot deeper than that. Sean Puffy Combs was supposed to have given money to Zip Martin to give to Mr. Davis for payment of the Tupac murder. Fast forward, we go to Mr. Davis. He says he can rekindle that relationship with Mr. Zip Martin and get him to talk about the money that was given from Sean Puffy Combs to Mr. Martin that never got to Mr. Davis.
You brought up the fact that Mr. Davis said...
So Diddy allegedly paid the ticket to get Tupac out of there. Damn it, man.
But basically, Sean Puffy Combs solicited the murder of Suge and Tupac during the course of that conversation.
Yeah.
Did he tell you where that conversation occurred?
It's a deli called Greenblatt's, still there on Sunset in Hollywood in Los Angeles.
If he never provides that portion of the information, what jurisdiction would LA have to be investigating a homicide that occurred in Las Vegas? None? So it was that piece of information which provided LAPD jurisdiction to even be looking at this murder.
You could say that.
When you were...
This is incredible, bro. Like... Diddy going to jail for killing Tupac, unaliving Tupac, excuse me. Keefe D telling on everybody. Suge Knight calling Keefe D a rat and Mob James a rat. Wack crying in the corner snitching on Biggie. This is a lot going on, bro. It's a lot of flu flammery, a lot of flu flammery, a lot of flu flammery.
Talking to Mr. Davis and he's telling you what he's telling you, did you have reason to doubt his version of events as it relates to the homicide itself?
I didn't think Mr. Davis was lying because he put the gun in his neck.
In regards to Southside, were you guys hanging out with another record label?
I mean, we have hung out with another record label, yeah.
Yeah. And what record label was that?
It was Bad Boy.
And Bad Boy, is that the record label that was being run by Sean Puffy Combs?
Correct.
By the moniker Keefy D.
Yes.
And who was he in the Southside Crips in the mid-90s?
He was a hustler. He was known for
And
hustling.
when we're talking about getting money, are we talking about through working a 9 to 5, or are we talking about narcotics?
It was narcotics.
In 2006, is it fair to say that you started doing work for the DEA?
Yeah, Haida.
Yeah, Haida, yeah.
Yeah.
And is that after
Wait, nigga, you did work for the DEA too?
Crips in the
Who uncle is this? Who telling ass daddy? Who people is this? I know one of you gangbangers in the streets know this nigga.
mid-90s?
He was a hustler. He was known for
And
hustling.
when we're talking about getting money, are we talking about through working a 9 to 5, or are we talking about narcotics?
It was narcotics.
In 2006, is it fair to say that you started doing work for the DEA?
Yeah, Haida.
Yeah, Haida, yeah.
Yeah.
And is that after you got caught trafficking some drugs as well?
Correct.
And in the mid-2000s,
Absolutely disgusting. Disgusting.
you got 5 payments, is that right?
I think something like that.
And that was for $2,000, $500, $1,000, $1,300, and $500 for a total of $5,300. Is that fair?
That's probably fair to say. I don't know exactly.
You don't remember,
Yeah,
but if I told you that, you wouldn't disagree with me.
No, not at all.
Yo, it's Big Ant, the spokesman, man. We back. Another edition
When
of
I say that this is absolutely disgusting, this is the absolute most disgusting thing that I've heard in a long time.
Urban Politicians TV, UPTV. Make sure you stay on your pivot at all times, man. Had to come tap in, and I had a links in the description where you can watch the clips at the beginning in full and from law and crime trials, as we is not going into day 5 of these court proceedings, but this just recently happened. Well, with this coming out now and the way that it's being presented, it could have been a movie and documentary on just the whole court proceedings in itself, for the simple fact names getting mentioned. And if you listen to it in full, you hear the audio recording of Keefy D putting it all out there, but not Diddy name being coming a topic of conversation. His team, to my understanding, has reached out, as sources have said Diddy has nothing to do with this at all, and he's not tied to it, as Zip is a guy that we've heard mentioned throughout the years. But the actual detective and investigator on that case has came out and confirmed, and they put the audio up there, and we'll break that down as separate of itself, where you can hear him saying, hey, this is that Diddy, we supposed to do the meeting, I'm supposed to get the money never got there. And then also saying that, hey, he told us this for this reason. He became a confidential informant for us. Keefy D had caught a case at that time, and to get out of that case, he was giving them information, but he was willing to put Diddy in the blender, Zip in the blender, and all according to what he has told them in that moment. Now, could he have been jerking and just saying things? Yeah, just trying to give them the runaround. That could have been a thing, but at that point in time, you mentioned the people named to the police, dog. You was moving as a confidential informant. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts about it. And then it gets into other layers of conversation because of the actual shooting with Keefy D. He's the last guy left. He agreed, and he put himself in his blender. Let's make this very clear here. By him catching this case in Cali for the drugs and things, he gave them jurisdiction to cover something that was going on in Vegas because of the information he volunteered with it, pretty much. They did that.
So he got caught flu flamming in LA and was like, yo, I know about this situation with Tupac in Vegas. He was a dirty father mucker.
The proffer, but he ended up breaking the proffer and got himself this case. But then it's even crazier because one of their homies that his nephew had brought into the Southside Compton Crips gang, from what they said in the courtroom, this guy Dirt Rock, who was brought there by his nephew, was already working as a confidential informant in 2006, where his goal was to get Keefy D locked up.
And fair to say, though, with regards to what they were seeking and looking for, at some point they were targeting Mr. Davis as a drug dealer, right?
Yeah.
And so you were helping them with that information that they needed, right? And that information came in early of 2008, meaning that you were helping them in April and May and that kind of thing.
I'm not sure the dates, but Victory was, helping them. Yeah.
And he's sitting right here in front of the courtroom, directly across him, telling them all this in real time. Like, yeah, I was getting paid to work. Yes, I was helping them investigate Keefy D. This is what Lled helped Keefy D get arrested. And then this is what Keefy D came and said, well, hey, my nephew, Baby Lane, is the one that did the shooting. He the one that did it. He the one that pulled the trigger in that moment. They go through the backstory of the death row.
And I could be wrong, but I believe Baby Lane is passed away. And I believe that that's why they try to, put it all on Baby Lane, because he's expired.
The Southside Crips being tied in with Bad Boys, so he is went in there and gave them all of the back dotted lines of the stories connected. And I have to keep it all the way 1,000. It is not looking good for Keefy D at all because of the way the stuff is getting played out and laid out. There is no physical evidence in this case as far as the gun or things of that nature. I don't know how this will play out with the jury and what's supposed to be what, but it don't look good at all, bro. I'm just keeping it all the way 100. All I can say about this, all of this stuff is how the game really go. People be corroborating, people be telling, people be trying to save themselves, and you gotta look at yourself in the mirror. It's Keefy D, 30 years later. You will probably have to go down as one of the world's dumbest criminals, period, just by even putting yourself in this situation. You had to proffer. All you had to do was be quiet. But to come out now and people get subpoenaed to court, Reggie Wright, the beef tied in with all of him and Keefy D and all the stuff that's been going on. It's like, bro, this trying to turn into a big podcast series almost. Suge Knight weighed in on it, saying everybody lying. I'm like, this whole podcast series got to be called Welcome to Death Row and Bad Boy Chronicles. I don't know, bro, whatever they want to call it at this point, because this is just crazy and wild. But this is how it really is, bro. Boys will bring you down, put your name in the mix. We'll wait for confirmation on everything else and see what happened. This
is the Mickey, Icky, Vicky, Tricky, Sticky situation, man, and we watching it transpire in real time, so we gonna keep y'all updated. Shout out to Big Ant, the spokesman. We up out there to the next one. Red dots to the left, you know the rest. Say a prayer and be blessed. We go.